ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Hey there, gamers. Welcome to the Secret Levels podcast. I hope you got your bags all nice and full with a whole bunch of toys and goodies, because the big man's coming to town tonight on this show. We're going to have a ho-ho happy good time.
I'm player 1, Toby.
And I am player 2, Jolly Goobs.
And we do a weekly retro video game review show talking about some of the best and some of the worst games. Some of the most naughtiest games, I should say.
Yeah, is this game going to be on the naughty or nice list? Who will know? Speaking of naughty or nice, you should go check out the podcast on the Somebody's Network.
You're never alone when you've got some buddies.
Most of them are naughty.
Nice guys, naughty shows.
Yeah, especially that Casual Sex with Crumb show.
Oh yeah, he gets explicit and deep up in it.
But yes, you can go check out the Somebodies on Twitter and Instagram at SomebodiesNet. Go check out all the wonderful shows a part of the network.
And on this show, we're hopefully going to be on your nice list after this nice review.
That's right. Because today we are going to be talking about an unreleased game for North America. We're going to be talking about Daze Before Christmas.
Yeah, man, I'm so dazed before Christmas. I smoked a half ounce of that legal Canadian weed, man. It's like, whoa, is that Santa or is that Jerry Garcia? I don't know, man.
Why not both?
It could be. I got Jerry Garcia in a bag, man.
So, this game that we're speaking about was released in 1994 and was only released in Europe and Australia.
I've never heard of this game myself until you mentioned it to me.
No, we had to find some ROMs to play this game, and we went with the Super Nintendo version because there is a Sega version that was released first and a Super Nintendo version. I couldn't get any of the Sega ROMs to work, so Super
Nintendo it is.
Yeah. So this was developed by Funcom, and it was published by Sunsoft.
Sunsoft makes some decent games.
Yeah. When I see the little Acro the Acrobat logo, I usually get like, oh, okay, this is going to be pretty decent.
Yeah, so, it's going to be fun.
I always get excited with Sunsoft games. Now, like I said, this game was never released in North America. There was plans to release it, but it got canceled. And we'll talk more about that later in the fun facts.
Yeah, we were looking for Christmas games, and yeah, there actually was a very much Christmas-themed game.
Yeah.
Besides Home Alone. That's not really Christmas themed, it's just because Home Alone takes place during Christmas.
This is the most Christmas game you can Christmas when you're in Christmas season.
Oh, this is Christmas as fuck. I had some very enjoyable moments in this game, and I'll explain those later on.
So this is a single player or multiplayer, which neither of us played the 2-player mode, so I was
just Christmasing by myself, man.
Yeah, I was pretty much Christmasing by myself, too. I'm sure it's just like a Mario Luigi thing where, each person gets to be the Santa character.
Yeah, I couldn't see this game having two Santas on the screen at the same time.
It'd be funny, though, if the other Santa's suit was green.
And he's a little bit taller.
Yeah.
He floats when he jumps.
Yeah. So this is a platformer.
Yeah, very much so. Just your good old bread and butter platformer.
Yeah, this is a true classic platformer. So, it's got a little bit of a story. Would you like me to tell you a story, Goobs?
I got my chestnuts roasting just for this story there, buddy. Let's get it going.
'Twas but days before Christmas, as Santa slept in his house. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Until some evil Christmas Scrooges wanted to stop Santa from spreading happiness to the world. The evil snowman scared away the elves, while the timekeeper stole parts from the machines that the elves used to make toys. The mouse stole the presents and apparently cursed them with a spell. And it never said this in the manual, but there's the main boss at the end of the game called Mr. Weather. And I think he's kind of behind this entire thing, but there's no mention of him in the story.
Whether or not he is or not, you'll never know.
Yeah. So,
dad jokes.
I'm assuming that he was just going to cause bad weather and for Santa. But yeah, so that's the story.
Santa has fucking Rudolph. You can see through any storm.
So basically, the toys have been stolen, the elves have been scared away, and we got to get the parts so the elves can make the toys again.
So Santa loads up with AK-47s.
Gosh, that's a completely different game now.
It's just like that Weird Al song, The Night Santa Went Crazy.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Shout out to Weird Al, #1 listener.
So this game should take you around an hour to an hour and a half to beat. Speedrun.com has Le Hulk beating the game on hard in 21 minutes and 46 seconds on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, you can just run through some of these levels there. And some levels you don't even know you're at the end. Just like, am I supposed to jump down that hole? Yeah, you sure are. Game over.
So let's start talking about the gameplay, what you're doing, and all that good stuff.
Let's get right into it.
You have 24 levels, and the level screen looks like an advent calendar.
I really fucking enjoy that because as a kid, like even now, I love getting my kid advent calendars. I'm sure you do too. But I always look forward to like every day getting that little fucking piece of shitty chocolate that could be like, you know how they get like white because they're old?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck it, I'm eating it. I'm a kid eating that chocolate. So like just seeing the advent calendar alone and like you get like the jingle bells going in this game too. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, it's Christmas time, baby.
So you don't get to like pick the level. You go through the levels in order because, you know, it's days before Christmas. Da-dun-ch. But anyways, as Santa, you are collecting the presents. That's what you're doing through the whole entire game is trying to collect presents.
As many presents as you can.
You have a magic power to throw at enemies to turn them into presents. And you can also upgrade it in some parts of the game to have a fire attack, which also changes your enemies into presents. But it can also melt ice. So
yes, and it can fuck up snowmen.
Yeah. The enemies range from rats, toy cars, electric people thing, birds, fish, tanks, Jack-in-the-Box, penguins,
little snow penguins. There's a whole bunch of random shit.
Yeah, there's a good variety of enemies in this game.
Tons of good-looking little sprites there. It's, I don't know, they change it up like every so often. It's great.
Yeah. Your health is represented by Christmas hats, and you know, you start out with like 5, I think, and you can...
Yeah, you don't have to worry about ever running out of them, because they're all over the fucking goddamn place inside the red little Christmas boxes there. Presents, some would say.
Yeah. So, yeah, you use your little magic to when you see a red present, you use your magic and...
Bad shit could happen, though, with the red present. Enemies could come out, there could be a bomb in there, but there also could be a save point, which is a little holly jolliday bell. A jolly holiday bell.
So yeah, that's what you use for your checkpoints. You can also find extra lives and the hats and stuff inside those presents, like you said.
Or a nice warm cup of coffee.
Yeah, so when you drink the cup of coffee, or the manual says that it's a cup of tea, but in other places it says coffee. So coffee, tea... It's
mocha latte. It could be a bunch of different things. Cider.
Yeah, whatever your wildest imagination can come up with. It's a
fucking cup of soup.
Yeah. So this is the weirdest part of the game. When you find this cup of coffee, you turn into Anti-Claus, who looks like Santa.
I like to call him Krampus.
Yes, because
you have devil horns and shit.
Yeah, because your happy-go-lucky Santa is gone, and you do have the devil horns, and he looks pretty red for the most part.
And you run around beating people with your bag, and I like to pretend there's doorknobs in it. So you just run up and just start smashing all the sprites all over the place. Like he's just pissed off and ready to kill people.
Right.
Do not... Okay, this is the word of the wise here. This holiday season... Do not leave a cup of coffee or espresso or a cup of soup around for Santa to drink, because you're going to wake up dead, because he's going to beat you to death with a bag full of doorknobs.
Yeah,
It's going to be a ho-ho horrible night.
When he turns into this Anti-Claus Krampus, we're going to call him Krampus, but in the manual it says Anti-Claus. He can't pick up a present, or like he can't break the red present so you get the stuff inside of him, and he cannot shoot the magic anymore. But like you said,
he's got his big sack.
He's got a big sack that he's going to swing at you.
Watch your face.
He eventually, the coffee wears off and he goes back
he'll
to
calm down.
Happy-go-lucky Santa. Now, in the options, you can change it to where you can have him do it for 10 seconds or 30 seconds.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah,
I just kept it at 10 seconds.
Oh, I ramped it up. I thought it was fun. The music.
I like it because the music changes. Music turns badass.
Yeah, his music's cool.
Well, I like the animation of when you're just normal holly jolly Santa. Because you just go, like, it looks like he's, like, swandering back and forth and just, like...
Yeah, he's got a nice little waddle.
Yeah, he's got a good swag to him, man.
Now, the one last thing on Anti-Claus, he's invulnerable. He cannot be damaged when he's...
Yeah, he can't get fucked up.
So that's why it's handy to have. But yeah, no, all the sprite animations for all the characters look pretty damn decent. Like, even the backgrounds...
Like, I didn't know what I was getting into this game, and, like, once seeing, like, the first, like, start of the game, like, oh... This actually ain't half bad looking. Like, I was expecting, like, shit. Especially because, like, we've been playing some, like, decent games lately. And I was just waiting for the kick in the nuts.
A stinker. A big stinker. Well, some of the levels in this game are so long, and you get lost in them because they're so big. And then there's some levels that you can beat within, like, 20 seconds.
Yeah, you don't even know you're at the end before you are. It's like, oh... Okay, on to the next one.
There was literally one of the snow levels where you just walk straight and you're kind of going up a hill, but there's no platforms or anything. You're just walking straight, killing enemies, and then there's a hole. And it literally took me 20 seconds to get through it, and I was like, oh, okie dokie.
See, I try to jump over the hole because I'm like, in video game like knowledge, holes are bad. You don't want to go down holes. Yeah. So I tried to jump over it and fell down. I'm like, oh, great, I died. And it's like, level 6 or whatever was next. I'm like, oh.
Okay.
Santa lives on. Let's go.
There are a handful of boss battles, but they aren't too challenging. And
no, not at all.
After you beat one of the bosses, and like I said, the bosses are the rat, the timekeeper, the snowman, and then Mr. Weather.
Oh, so, timekeeper Tony Hawk there?
I was thinking the timekeeper from Diddy Kong Racing the whole time.
Well, cause just the whole half-pipe thing.
TT, that's what it is, TT.
Oh, yeah, angry TT.
He's pissed off.
He had a cup of coffee, now he's mad.
Yeah.
That fight was pretty cool, though, where he drops into the half-pipe and then you have to run to either side. Kind of remind me of like a Sonic fight when you're fighting Robotnik.
Yeah.
Or Eggman.
The one that was the hardest was, who? Oh, I guess it was the rat that's on the conveyor belt.
Oh, fucking Negan there with the baseball bat?
Yeah, that was a little rough. I was having a lot of trouble with that one.
Yeah, you gotta jump up and drop the big ball on his head.
Yeah, and you're on a conveyor belt, and you have to lure him towards this ball that's above your head, and yeah, it's a little complicated. I would have never been able to figure that out as a kid. Like, that would have been the spot that I would have got stuck at every time, because it's...
I would have liked a few more bosses. I don't know about you, but I like to have a boss-heavy game.
Yeah, because 24 levels with 4 bosses was kind of weak.
Yeah, 10 boss.
Yeah. We could add 8. Give us 8, and we'd like that, big man.
Yeah.
So, after each boss battle, there is a mini game where you deliver presents to all the children of the world.
And you told me that you hated this, and I got upset about that.
I did not enjoy this part because your sprite is real small, and there's 2 reindeer pulling you in the sky, and you have to dodge objects. There's helicopters and comets and all kinds of crap in the sky that you're trying to dodge.
This is where you use all the presents that you've collected, because you got to give them all the happy children.
Yeah, you drop them in all the chimneys that have smoke coming out of them, so you're burning the presents.
I'll tell you about my first experience doing this. I fucking absolutely had a great time. I'm home by myself, I'm right into the Christmas spirit at this moment, and Santa's, I'm like, oh shit, like it's changing up right now. What's this? I'm expecting like a gunner. Like, so I hit the button, I see the present drop, I'm like, oh no, I'm Santa right now. I'm like, where's these chimneys at? And so I saw just all clicked right away. Like, the presence of Santa came right into me. I'm ready to go. And so I get full, like, role play at this moment. I'm going through, I'm like, here you go, little Nicky. Here you go, little Joshua. And I was naming all the houses, like the kids inside the houses I'm dropping the presents off to. It made it that much more of an experience for me.
Well, I did the same thing as you, as I was like, all right, Santa's got missiles on this sled, and we're about to take down some whoever. And when I realized, oh, I'm dropping presents, like at first it was a little bit fun. I did enjoy it at first, and then I realized, oh, it's so easy.
I always appreciate when they try to change up a game a little bit.
I got to give it a point for that, but I still wish there would have been a little more challenge to it. I don't know what exactly.
See, this is where we need to make our own game. It's like Rudolph's Rampage or something. And you got Santa on the back, Rudolph on the front, but like he shoots lasers out of his nose, and it's kind of like one of those smups. Just shoot them up, just go through, and just like
and deliver. See, if you had to shoot, like, if he was trying to throw magic at stuff that was coming at him and drop presents, that would have been a little more challenging, I think, and that would have been a little more fun, you know?
I'd like to play a game fully like that. I'd totally enjoy that experience. So, I never knew dropping off presents would be such a fucking fun time.
But see, that's where my problem was. It just seemed too basic. Like, I do appreciate that there was some variety in this game. It was just very basic.
Basic ass bitches. See, I didn't feel that at all. Yeah, with different opinions. Go figure. I hate you.
I want to talk a little more about the sprite animations and stuff, because there's a lot of good sprite animations. Like when you duck, you can duck, but it doesn't help you at any point in this game. So I don't know.
No, not at all. But it's fucking amazing.
I assumed, because when I first figured out that you could duck, he pulls his hat all the way over himself.
You
like,
see two big beady eyes?
Yeah, at the bottom of the hat. It's so funny. It's a great little animation.
And you can move while you're doing that, too.
Yeah, and his little feet come out. It's super funny. And I assume that, like, oh, he's hiding from the bad guys so you won't get hit if you
get hit.
Yeah, it gets you anyway.
I thought the same thing.
So it's pointless to duck, but it's a really nice animation. So I just wanted to talk about that for a second.
And then the jump animation, too. When you hit jump again, your leg flings out. Like Santa's drunk.
It's a pretty well done game. I feel like I hate being negative about this, but I feel like it looks like the game is half finished. Like, I feel like there was still stuff that they wanted to add. I don't know, because even the story that I was telling you about, you know, Krampus and everything, or Santa Claus when he drinks the coffee. In the manual, it says something about him breaking the toys when he gets upset like that. But nowhere in the game is he breaking toys, or that's a side effect. It's like you lose presents for becoming him, you know? So
well, technically, you can't
pick them up.
Open presents.
But it feels like the developers...
It's a weak way out of it.
Yeah, I feel like the developers and the writers didn't know exactly what they wanted to do with it. I don't know. And then the backgrounds, I feel like some of the backgrounds seem really empty.
Well, some of them don't. Like, some of them are great.
Some of them are great. So, I don't know. It feels like there's some stuff that's half done. And then, what was with the gold deer? The gold reindeer? Did you find the reindeer?
Yeah, it just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. I went to it, and I'm like, shit, I can ride this thing? And then I went up to it, got through the wall there, and yeah, it just fucking vanished.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like there was something to do with those reindeer. And
maybe we were just like, we just suck. We couldn't figure it out, but like, cause I'm like, oh shit, maybe if I go off screen and go back, the deer will come back and we can have fun together. And then no, it just never wanted to be my friend.
I just feel like there was something missing, and I don't know if they had a deadline. I don't know what the deal was, but I feel like something isn't all there. And in a little while, I'll tell you more about their deadlines and stuff that I do know about, but I don't know if there was an overall deadline that it had to be done and they just didn't get it all finished. So, I don't know.
I had a song joke in there for a second with the golden deer. Golden deering. Reindeer love.
How's that song go?
Santa's been driving all night, his hands wet on the wheel.
Gross.
You know the song Radar Love, obviously.
I don't, I guess.
Oh, fuck. I'm old. Someone will get that joke and appreciate it, I fucking promise you.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't get it.
I hate you. I'm looking for a new host here. Aaron? Zinger?
Hey, stop trying to give me away. Or replace me.
Jenny puts her hand up.
Shut up, Jenny. So there is a password system that you can use because there is no like save spots, and 24 levels is kind of a lot to sit through. I mean, I know it's only like an hour, and you're kind of doing the same thing. Again, there's a lot of different enemy designs, but you do have the passwords, so you can start at any point of the game if you get bored or anything. So I appreciate that. After every level, you get a password.
Yeah, no, it's good to have that. Yeah, I was shocked at first. I'm like, oh, there's a password. I'm like, there wasn't one of those for the first fucking few levels. But then again, we have things like save states.
Yeah, maybe it's not every level.
No, I remember it after the bosses.
Yeah, that's probably what it was, every 4 or 5. But what's really weird is...
I said 10 earlier in the episode, so I'm correcting myself now. So I was like, 10 levels boss, 10 levels boss. No, that's not the case.
I wonder why they didn't have like a stage select. Like, you can't go back and play any of the levels that you already beat. Like, if there was one that you were like, oh, that was kind of fun, I want to do that again, you'd have to play the whole game over. So that's...
Yeah, I just want to go back and deliver presents the whole time. And I want to try to figure out that fucking golden deer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess there's a lot of replay value just because you can go back and try to figure out what those fucking deers are for. Because I think I found 2.
I only found 1 deer.
Nah, maybe I've only found 1. I don't know. Let's talk about the controls. How do you feel that it handled?
It handled pretty decent, I find. Like, the jumping was pretty... You gotta get used to the way Santa jumps, like...
He's a little floaty.
Yeah, well, he's Santa, man. He's the man who can fucking hold his nose and fly up a chimney and shit. He's fucking magical, so you gotta expect a little floatiness when you're talking about Santa.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, no matter what you say to me, I'm just gonna respond with Santa.
Santa and positivity somehow.
Yeah, it's the power of positivity.
Yeah, I think that's my only complaint is that he's a little floaty. I was really happy that, you don't take a fall damage from falling up high, like a Bubsy or something.
Oh, no, there's totally some parts in the levels where you're just like, fuck it, throwing caution to the wind, I'm dropping right to the bottom of this bitch.
Yeah, so that helps a little bit with the weird... I don't think they're terrible controls, but they're a little bit
I wish his shirt opened up when you fell down. That would have made it so much cuter.
Oh, or if he would have grabbed his like
sack and used it,
made a parachute out of it. Yeah, that would have been pretty cool.
See, we need to remake this game now. We have so many ideas for this Santa.
Now, here's one of the issues I can't get past with this Super Nintendo version, and I've noticed that the Sega does not have this problem. The camera is super zoomed in on the Super Nintendo version.
Yeah, it's pretty tight up.
You can see more on the Sega version. So I was having trouble to where I couldn't tell if there was a platform, to the right of me or wherever,
Yeah, and some of the snow levels, that's really, really helpful. When you're running and trying to get through something, you jump and it's like, oh shit, platform.
Yeah, there's one where there's this, on the water and one of the ice levels, there's a floating ice platform and you have to jump on it. Which it's not slippery like you would think, like an ice level, but you can't see. You only have such a little area to see when it's coming, and if you don't time it perfectly, you're gonna miss it completely.
Yeah. Did you try to do the same thing I did? Like, when you land, because normally when you land on an ice thing like Mario, Mega Man, shit like that, you adjust, right? You go back and forth to try to like.
Yes.
I tried to do that in this game, and it fucked me so hard. It's just
years
ran
and years
right off the edge.
Well, and it's Donkey Kong. It's all the major games have that ice
physics.
Ice physics. So you hit ice, you slide. So your instinct after playing games like that for years and years is to, oh god, gotta correct. And I died a couple times probably.
And I feel bad every time I kill Santa.
But did you kill him, or did the little Jack in the Box kill him?
Oh no, those guys just threw some magic powder at them. Here, cocaine!
No wonder Santa's so jolly.
Yeah, that's why kids, this all makes sense now. That's why he doesn't like the coffee, because it sobers him up.
That's right.
Turns him into anti-Santa, because Santa's normally fucking high on cocaine all the time. So he's like, whoa, let's do a tootski rootski. Ho, ho, ho. He's like just running around giving presents to people.
So
and then he drinks the coffee. Sober Santa.
Anti-Santa is the real Santa Claus personality. And
yeah, just a fucking asshole.
Cheerful Santa is the cocaine. Hey, let's have a good time.
That's why there's reindeers and elves, because he's fucked out of his mind. We figured Christmas out here. All the listeners rejoice right now.
Well, let's rejoice as we talk about the music.
Oh, jingle bells, bud. You hear all sorts of great stuff on this game.
Yeah, there's some, obviously there's going to be some Christmas music. So you can't go wrong with some Christmas music.
But they're like kind of remixed so they don't get sued. You hear a bit of a song. It's like, is that Jingle Bells? And it's like, yeah, that's Jingle Bells. And it turns into something else. Like, oh, it's not Jingle Bells anymore.
Yeah, it's the music's not terrible. There's a couple of levels where it's like, that doesn't make me feel like it's Christmas at all.
Yeah, some like doom, doom, doom. It's like, what the hell? This sounds like a dumb stumper. Like just like really weird music. I'm just like, oh, okay. I guess that's something.
It kind of throws you off too, because you're like, wait a minute, this was so Christmas full, and then now it's not at all. So I don't know. But the
as you're running around flooded basements and shit like that.
Yeah,
I didn't touch on that. That level, if you save at the wrong point, the water is impossible to fucking get out of.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of levels where the water's rising up on you, and you have to just book it. If you don't book it,
if you die and start at the save point, the water remembers where it was, and it always comes up like you're fucked unless you just run right through everyone.
Now, what's your favorite song on this game?
Oh, I think it's the one where you're delivering presents. There's a lot of jingle bells going on in that one.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's the one with all the starts off with like just a whole bunch of bells. I'm like, hell yes. That's what got me so hyped to deliver all the presents.
I really like the Anti-Claus song. I don't know what
that's
it is about that.
That's a good one too. I enjoyed most of the music on this, like all the Christmas inspired music. Because some of the other songs was like, it's still good music, but like I want Christmas when I'm playing a Santa Claus game.
Right? Yeah, of course.
They should have just stole some tracks from the Home Alone game and put it in there.
That's all I really got on music. Do you wanna?
Yeah, there's nothing really much. It's decent.
At best.
It's not bad.
Decent at best.
I was expecting a lot worse. Like this whole game I was expecting a lot worse with everything.
Yeah, I mean, especially since this game didn't make it to North America. Like, you would think this would be...
There's no reason that it shouldn't have. Like, people would have bought this game. Maybe not as a full price SNES game at the time, but you could have dropped it down a few bucks and people would have totally ate this shit up.
I think so too. I really do. It makes me wonder how well it actually sold when it was first released.
I'm taking not too well because we never got it.
Well, how about we jump into the fun facts and we'll discuss this a little more.
Welcome to Fun Facts with Toby.
Oh, oh, oh.
Green Giant.
So, if you're asking for this game for Christmas, the Super Nintendo PAL version, loose, I saw on eBay, There was one for $170, and there was
Holy
one for
fuck.
$230. Apparently, loose. Apparently, it was a limited print game, and you can only get North American versions that are repos. So, because again, this never came out in North America, but you can get repos, and these versions will only cost you about $20 to $40. But if you want...
That's not bad, just to have the experience of playing this game, because this game should be played. It's pretty fun. But, like, paying $170 or whatever for the original? Holy shit, man.
Now, that's the PAL version. Like, that's the...
Yeah, but that's like the original, like if you're a full, like, on hardcore collector, you're going to want that.
Yeah. I would like to have a repo of this, because it's a full game. It's not... Like I was saying earlier, it feels like it's unfinished, but it is actually finished. It's a full game that was released. So someone has just, slapped a label on a Super Nintendo cartridge and, made it for the North American. So I would like
something not a lot of people played, so it's cool if you have friends over. It's like, here, man, why don't you play this fucking Santa Claus game? Try this shit out.
Yeah, I really would like to have this in my collection just because it is something weird that you can be like, hey, here's this game. So... Anyways, I couldn't find anything on the Sega ones for sale, but apparently they're pricey just as well. The one or two that I saw, but again, I couldn't tell if it was the actual Sega because it's the I guess the PAL version. I don't know if it's PAL still for Sega cartridges, but it's the Mega Drive. So I don't know anything about Mega Drive stuff, and I don't know if it's the actual game. I don't know. I got confused, so that's why it's pricey from what it looked like. But they do have repos for the Sega Genesis, so you can get your hands on a Sega version as well. This was one of Sunsoft's last games to release, and the reason that it never got a North American port is because Sunsoft went bankrupt.
Oh, because of Santa. That's not very Christmas-like.
No. Now, you will notice, if you've ever played We're Back, A Dinosaur's Tale for the Sega Genesis, you'll notice that these games are exactly alike, and that's because they are. They use the same code. Well, I'm talking about gameplay. I mean, obviously it's got different sprites and characters and stuff like that, but it is the same game code.
So they just pretty much like reskinned one of the games and just sent it out there.
That's what it sounded like to me too. I'm glad you said that because that's what it sounded like. So the game was originally released on the Sega, and
I wonder if some of the songs that aren't the Christmas themed songs
come from
in We're Back, A Dinosaur Story.
Or in that matter, if they're in any of the Sunsoft games, something that they already had, and they were just like, we're running out of money. Let's slap some other songs on this.
I'm going to try those games out and see if any of those songs strike a tune to my ear.
Yeah. So this game was originally released on the Sega, and when they went to port it to the Super Nintendo, it took about 6 months to get it all ported over, because they had a one-man team working on that port.
A big company running like an indie one.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty impressive that one guy ported the entire game over. But it took him 6 months. He didn't just sit there, and it wasn't like, oh yeah, piece of cake. It was a time-consuming project.
Good on you, one man.
Yeah.
Good on you. Zeki's man has shit on you. Dos Equis, whatever the hell that beer is.
The Sega and the Super Nintendo versions are almost identical. There's a few main differences that you can spot right away. Like in the title scene, when Santa goes, oh, ho, ho, and then it's playing the music and you hit start, there's snow falling on the Super Nintendo version, and on the Sega one, there's not. And then in like the ice levels, the backgrounds are different. Like the coloring for the sunsets and all that, they're a little bit different.
Okay, so just like aesthetic things.
Yeah, it's little bitty things. Everything else looks exactly the same.
Well, I wouldn't want this game if there was snowflakes.
Well, and Sega you can see more of the screen, and Santa's a little bit smaller. So if you want Santa smaller, if you want Santa bigger.
Santa's the perfect size. I like my men robust with beards.
That's why you like me.
This is Christmas, not Valentine's, Toby.
Oh, yeah. Like I was saying a minute ago, in the manual, the Sega version, I couldn't find the Super Nintendo manual, but it's all written like a holiday poem, like the whole story. And here's where they talk about Santa being a dick when he gets some coffee or tea or whatever it is. It says, "Give Santa the potion to drink and he'll change. He'll become Anti-Claus on a rampage of rage. He'll break the toys. He'll ignore all good work. Could it be Santa is just a fat jerk?" See, so it makes no sense that you turned into this thing. I'm not sure if there was supposed to be something else to it, because he doesn't break anything, and they're calling Santa the jerk. Like, oh, Santa's the bad guy right now. So I just don't know. There's something weird about this game. It just doesn't feel finished.
Santa needs some Adderall or something to get his shit together, because he's living two different lives. Smashing toys, making toys. What do you want, man? He's split personality Santa Claus.
Anti-Claus is this Tyler Durden.
Yeah, this Fight Club. This is the Fight Club of Santa Claus video games. You couldn't have said that any better.
If this is your first night at North Pole, you have to drink the coffee.
Starts raging and killing elves. And we've gone to a dark spot of the North Pole several times on this episode.
Yeah.
Mostly me. I'm here like, I'm loving this game, dropping off presents. Yeah, fucking Rudolph killing shit.
Lasers from his nose.
That'd be awesome, though.
It would be. Now, on the game, where it gives you the story of what's happening when you hit start, I'm pretty sure they misspelt mouse, and they wrote louse, because they say something about blah, 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 louse. And I was looking through the manual, and nowhere do they call the mouse louse, or any other character louse. So I think they.
So it's like the double dragon, the Bimmy.
Yeah. So, but maybe Louse is the mouse's name. You know,
Louse the mouse.
Louse the mouse.
De-louse the mouse.
Yeah. And that's it for fun facts on this game that was never released in North America. That's a fun fact.
Well, that was a great amount of fun facts, Toby.
Yeah.
Santa Claus thanks you.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Anti-Santa hates you.
Oh, but what would Anti-Santa think of the rage meter?
Oh, he would actually he'd be okay with it.
Oh, come on!
Okay, so this is our patented rage meter, where we give the game a 1 to 10 score on how pissed off this game makes us, or how anti-happy
Claus
this game.
We are.
Yeah, I flubbed that one. So 1 is it was okay, it didn't make me so mad. 10 is it made me anti-Claus. Goobs.
I guess I'll go first on this one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk myself up or down this time.
Okay.
I'm going to stick right where I am.
Okay.
I'm going to give it 5.5.
Ooh, this one got you a little bit average pissed off.
Yeah, no, a little bit more than average. It was mostly to do with that wet basement. Because I had so many lives, so many continues, and that just kept on fucking me, where it stopped me, like... Because most levels like that are based on a level timer. So what that is, like, you start a level, the shit that rises is going to progress with you do. If you go faster than it, it's not going to get to you. But they started it with a level timer pretty close to you halfway through the level, so you can go as fast as you want. I ended up getting it, because I just, like, you know what? I'm not going to fucking fuck the presents, fuck the bad guys, fuck everything. I'm jumping over, then I finally got through. Like, Jenna sat here and watched me. I was getting pretty upset. But, that was probably the most hardest part I had in the game. The big bosses at the end weren't that bad. And, yeah, the hardest part I got hung up was those time levels. But other than that, it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Fun platformer. Very fun.
See, I'm only going to give this a 3.5 on the rage meter. I don't think it was so hard. I feel like it was a pretty casual game. I feel like it's perfect for a kid for sure. And I feel like
maybe you look stupid, Toby.
No, I feel like there's a couple of parts that are rough. Like I said earlier, Louse the Mouse, when he's got his slugger baseball bat coming at you, and you have to drop the damn thing on his head, that's complicated. That's stupid complicated. That was one of the hardest things in the game. And the water rising on you sucks too. And then there's a couple of levels where you get a little bit lost. But like I said, it's not terrible. It's all. I feel like I would have even had a better time on the Sega version just so I could have seen more of the screen.
Yeah,
so,
it was kind of frustrating as well. I forgot to mention that.
Maybe I'm leaning a little more towards 4, but I'm going to stay with 3.5 because I think it was a pretty casual playthrough.
It was just that one level that made me rage pretty hard. So I have to show that in my score.
Well, Louse the Mouse pissed me off, so maybe I will go to a 4 just because he's a dick.
Way to pull a goobs, jackass.
Okay, so now let's move on. Since we got our rage out we don't have the coffee in us anymore. We waited the 30
let's
seconds.
hear that soothing music to bring us back down to our zen state.
There it is.
Yeah, music to my ears.
So what we do here is we give the game a rating from 1 to 10 on how much we disliked it or liked it extremely good amount.
Was it a good present? Was it like kitty litter and shit?
Did this game give us coal, or did it give us
People don't use coal anymore. Coal's useful for things like barbecuing and smoking.
Oh, okay.
Kitty litter with shit in it isn't useful. That's what you give kids who aren't good anymore.
I just thought Krampus would come pick them up. But anyways.
And beat him with a stick.
1 to 10, I'm going to go first. No, I'll let you go first because you had a good time with this game.
I'm not going to use a 0.5 or anything like that. I'm going to give Santa a good old 6.9.
Ooh, you gave him the 69.
Damn right I did. I had a lot of fun with this game. It's not up there with the classics because there's a couple little flaws that we discussed on this, but I had a lot of fun with this game I've never played before, and experienced this game for the first time. I wasn't pissed off of it. I wasn't pissed off at it. The music was fun. The controls were fun. Like, they're decent at best, like we said. The music's great. I love jumping on the magic carpet with Santa. Like, oh shit, we're being exotic now. Let's go, Santa. I just love playing as Santa Claus. It's just really, like, I don't know what the fuck it was that awoke the kid in me, but controlling Santa Claus and, like, dropping presents off, it fucking did it for me. 7. I started off giving him a 6.9. I talked myself out of talking myself up, but I'm going to give it a 7 because we climaxed together.
Ooh. I don't know if you want to do that with Santa.
No, we finished the game, man. Come on, let's get your mind out of the fucking gutter.
Okay, so you gave it a 7, and you had a lot of fun. I didn't have a bad time. Let me put that out there before I reveal my score. I think this game is average at best. It feels like it had so much potential to where it could have been a great game, even with sequels and stuff. Like, I just felt like it was unfinished. And I want to know more about Anti-Claus and why. Why does Santa get pissed and turn into this monster when he drinks coffee? Why did the manual... We
discussed this already, because he's a fucking coke addict and that sobers him up.
But like, why does the manual say, oh, he breaks toys and he's a fat jerk? When he's a happy... there's a lot of questions I have about Anti-Claus. I feel like...
You better contact that one guy from Sunsoft if he's still around.
I don't know. I feel like the mini games were too easy. I just feel like it was just missing something for me just to wow the pants off me. And I'm going to give it a 5.
For me, all it took was Santa. Sorry, go on.
I'm going to give it a 5.5.
That's not too bad.
No, again, it's average, and I do think everyone should play this game. If you have an opportunity to play it, play it. It's a pretty decent game. And
I think I rated it so high because my eyes were jaded by Santa Claus. It's the season right now. Like, you know what? You know what probably would have made this game a 10 for me? If they played fucking Mariah Carey. I don't want to laugh. That's my favorite fucking Christmas song. If they played that game looped throughout this game, I'd probably be playing this at fucking a hard like 6.5 inches. It's like, yeah, fucking Christmas.
Well, with your 7 and my 5.5, we average at a 6.25 on this game. So
look at us doing averages. Thank you, Interstate Gamers.
Yeah, I stole it. I'm anti-Toby right now.
Put down that coffee, you fat jerk.
Again, it's a decent game. There's nothing wrong with it.
I'm fat too, so I can say that.
You can make fun of me because you're the same. But yeah, it's a good game. I think everyone should try it out if you have the option to. I don't think it'll be like one of your top 10 favorite games ever, but it's a solid playthrough.
It's a fun little romp through a winter wonderland.
Yeah.
Or a basement or attic. I like climbing up the chimney. That was fun too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, that's total Santa.
Yeah. It surprises you a couple of times with some like little cutscene things where he's climbing up the ladder and stuff, and you're like, oh, what just happened? So it's not so bad.
You can play it with your kids because it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
See, it's just like me, just simple.
Finish him.
All right, so this is the part of the show where we wrap it up like a present, and
give it to her,
yes,
or him,
or him and her. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how you're.
It's a season of giving.
Yeah. So, Goobs, if it's a season of giving, could you give us the rundown of all your other projects that you're a part of?
I would love to, and I'll do it in a radio voice this time.
Okay.
This is Goobs and Feller telling you to go check out the Derailers podcast. Follow them on Twitter at Derailers. It has my wonderful wife Jenny Bean and my best friend Ripkin. And you know what? Because I'm not on the show. Well, I am somewhat of a recurring character there. But those three jump on a train all the time and run right off the tracks, and who knows what they're going to be talking about, because they sure don't. But you'll have a great time listening to them. Go check them out. And then, excuse me, Dee Dee Diamonds here. Dee Dee Diamonds is telling you to go watch Derailed Wrestling, you sons of bitches, you sexy fuckers. Go on YouTube and click on Derailed Wrestling. You can see my wonderful wife Mercedes and all the scantily clad women of the Bombshell division. Oh, yes. Tons of scantily clad people there. And it is hosted by Goobs and Ripkin. Go check out the great show. You'll have a hard-on of a good time. I don't know what the fuck just happened there, Toby. My headphones just went dead. My mic went dead. Everything just went blank.
Did you drink
I think I just had some Gatorade. Or Kool-Aid, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hail Toby. Derailed Wrestling. You get in an inside joke and a whole bunch of other shit. Go check it out, folks.
That's right. Now, for me, I do the Secret Transmission podcast, where we talk about conspiracies, the supernatural, UFO encounters, cryptids, serial killers, and all kinds of other silly, scary, spooky stuff. And it's available on all the major podcasting platforms. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Secret Transpod. But as always, the most important thing you need to do is follow the Secret Levels on Instagram and Twitter. And that is at Secret Levels Pod. So go follow us. We also have a Facebook page. Go like it. It's just Secret Levels Podcast. We have a group that you should join called the Secret Levels Group. You can talk to us about the games that we discuss on this show, or just any old retro video game. You can post memes in there and
your
whatever
pickups, whatever the hell you want to do. Just have fun.
Yes, and we have started a game of the month. So we need you to get in there and vote for which game you're going to either punish us or pleasure us with at the end of every month.
Pain or pleasure.
So yes, please go vote. It looks like our first game is going to be Garfield Caught in the Act on Sega for the month of
Okay,
January.
because I heard Barbie was in the fucking lead for a bit there.
So yes, January, it looks like it. The votes could change at any point, and we'll
Jump on and change the votes, folks. There's tons of good stuff on there.
So yes, go check that out. But Goobs, if you wanted to support this show, how could you do that?
Well, if you want to support this wonderful, wonderful show, and you love the voice that the two of us like to give to you every week, that doesn't make sense at all, but I'm going to fucking run with it anyways. You can go to www.tpublic.com/secretlevels and get one of our wonderful designed t-shirts, onesies, tapestries, blankets, fucking whole bunch of shit. I'm surprised they don't have toilet paper on that website, because wouldn't you love to wipe your ass with our faces? Maybe one day you'll be able to. Go to www.tpublic.com/user/secretlevels. Just pick up some great shit. Why not?
That's right.
Do it, or evil Santa, anti-Santa, will get you. Ho, ho, ho. Hey there. Thanks for the eggnog, anti-Santa.
Yeah, man. No problem, Santa.
I should find a hotel.
What?
Do what?
A hotel?
Yeah.
Just ask, Jolly Man.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Oh, God. 3 pitchers of eggnog, and you still can't ask.
Ask what?
You called me because you needed a place to stay.
Oh, ho, 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 hey, no.
Yes, you did. So just ask. Cut the foreplay and just ask, man.
Well, Auntie Santa, would it be a problem?
Well, Santa, is that a problem for you to ask?
Can I just stay at your place?
Yeah.
Thanks. Have a happy holidays.
Well, I do want you to do me a favor.
Anything for you, Auntie Claus.
I want you to hit the children as hard as you can.
Pardon me?
I want you to hit the children as hard as you can.
Game over, folks.